Hello everyone, I am in the kitchen with the amazing Mishkah, who is a Be Well ambassador and health chef, and Jay from The Kind Kitchen, and today we are going to be whipping up the most incredible, what are they, barbecue, Brussels sprouts, delicious. I mean, we're changing the way people think about Brussels sprouts today, right?
Absolutely. Buffalo wings made with Brussels sprouts.
I love me Brussels sprouts.
Great, so how do we start? What is the first step?
Well, Mishka is going to help me with getting sauces going and also trimming the Brussels sprouts. So we've got basically 1 kilogram of Brussels sprouts here. And I'm going to start off with getting the actual batter going. All right, so as we get that batter going, Mishka is going to trim the bigger ones. I think, you know, if you have big ones, Mishka, maybe show them those.
So yeah, you get these really
Brussels.
big ones, and of course the standard is kind of like a little of a bite size, and we kind of want to go more bite size, keep it easy, and also get the flavor infused into these. So I'm just going to do a quick little
So you just cut them in half, the
chop
slightly
off,
bigger
exactly.
sizes. Okay.
And if you do have like these icky bits at the back, you can also just chop that off, and then again just half it, as easy as that.
And obviously making sure it's washed and, you know, ready for consumption.
Right.
In these tough times of COVID, we know we've got to just be careful of these
Extra
kinds of
careful.
things,
Oh,
right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so what I'm going to get going here is some Alpro almond milk.
Yes.
I'm going to add, so it's unsweetened, I'm going to add some apple cider vinegar to that, and that's just going to help it curdle a little bit. Just going to give that a stir, and then I'll set it off to the side.
So is that almost to create that kind of like buttermilk?
Yeah, absolutely, a
plant-based
buttermilk.
version?
Absolutely, so as simple as that. Okay, we're going to just set that off to the side for a moment, and then the real magic will begin. So next up, we're going to take, we've got some all-purpose flour.
Okay.
If you're on a gluten-free diet, you know, there's lots of great gluten-free options, and I'm sure you can even tell the viewers at home, you know, that's something you're passionate about as well. There are ready-made gluten-free mixes that you can get at the likes of Wellness Warehouse, but we're just going for a standard, good old purpose, probably snowflake here. All right.
And the second flour that
The
you're using?
second is cornstarch.
Okay.
All right.
And tell me, Jay, I mean, this, I feel like with the buffalo wings, we're doing the Brussels sprouts wings, there's a bit of that southern influence. Your background, your training?
Well, actually, that's a good point. You know, I trained in Austin, Texas, and what an amazing part of America that is. Just fantastic places to eat and get that Southern style cooking or Mexican style cooking as well, but there's that influence, that crossover that happens there.
Definitely.
So I've just added a little bit of non-radiated salt into that mix. How's it going there, Mishka?
Yes.
Brussels sprouts are done. They are looking amazing and ready to rumble whenever you're ready.
Okay, cool. So next up here, we've left that for about a minute. Now I'm going to add that milk into this. When I make a similar thing at the Kind Kitchen, I would use, you can also use sparkling water. You don't necessarily have to use milks in that. So if you want to avoid the milks, you can, but there's no reason why you need to avoid the milk. It's really adding more protein to the dish and giving it more of that butter milk kind of flavor that we're speaking about. All right.
So it gets our fortified vitamin D.
Yes, true. True, added calcium as well. Can you tell me why Brussels sprouts, of all the veggie options, why are we going for the Brussels sprouts texture?
The Brussels sprouts don't have a good rep on the taste portfolio, but you know, if you know how to cook them, and we're about to show you now. Besides that, especially because it is the change of season at the moment, Brussels sprouts are really high in vitamin C and vitamin E. They are one of the Brassica family vegetables, which means they are high antioxidants, and that's why I love them. I know this is why it's a great reason to be using them.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, I'm all for it.
Guys, I'm just adding some of the Marie Sharp hot sauce to this. Now, just want to mention this brand very quickly, this Marie Sharp brand. So in today's dish, we've used two of her famous sauces. The one is this smoked habanero, and it's got quite a mild, and I love the payoff actually, not too mild, not too hot, just right.
I love that.
So that's what we're going with there, and that's half a cup.
Okay.
And then the other one we've gone with is the mild. Mishka, would you mind reaching over and just grabbing the one behind there?
This is the nut to use.
Yes.
And then this is the traditional mild flavor.
Okay.
I like it hot, but you know, you want to start at a point where everyone can enjoy it,
Sure.
and then you can build on, and we'll talk about those.
Oh, those
spicy
really
ones
spicy
later.
ones up front.
So what I've done here, I mean, I'm salivating as I'm saying it, the hot sauce. Okay, so I've just added 2 teaspoons of the mild hot sauce into the milk. All right.
And you're just mixing it just to
Mixing
combine
that.
it properly.
Correct. Getting more flavor basically is why we're using that. Now I'm going to add this to our mixture.
So you almost create a bit of a well and then whisk the
Yeah.
the milk mixture in. Okay.
Absolutely. So this becomes our batter
Yes.
that we create a dredge here, and from this dredge then we'll place the Brussels sprouts, and then from there we go straight into the panko breadcrumbs, which we haven't even named yet today. I feel like we left them out. Sorry about that, panko.
We're going to get to those babies soon.
I did.
The leaves from the Brussels sprouts, you can imagine that the beautiful batter will kind of stick around them, lovely, keeping that texture and flavor.
Definitely.
So I really think they're going to work very well.
So Mishka, do you want to get on to making the sauce?
I was about to say that as
yes.
well.
So let's talk about this
Okay, cool.
fantastic
So
brand.
I'm going to be using Amma's Creamery. It is a vegan butter. It's amazing. So this is actually a cultured cashew nut butter.
Amazing.
Vegan butter.
Yes.
And what makes it amazing is you're still actually getting the added benefits of butter without taking away, you know, the calcium and all the things that you can find.
Does it melt just like a butter would?
We are about to find out. So I'm going here with half a cup of this cashew butter. Oh, and let's just see, actually, you can see how it melts in the pan.
Meanwhile,
it's really starting to melt well.
now from here, this is where the magic starts to happen. Raw, straight in, no need to pre-cook, pre-bake. Gets a little bit messy here. This is fun time in the kitchen with the kids, and you know, just having a lot of fun with getting that into the batter and then adding it to your panko.
Wow, look at that.
Right.
Beautiful texture.
I mean, it looks like a chicken leg, right?
It's like a little Scotch egg.
Yeah.
Great.
Okay, so would you like to help me?
Can I?
Yeah,
Okay,
please.
my hands are clean, we're ready to go.
Can you grab this?
Right.
So I just put them in, coat them with the sauce, make sure that they got a bit of the batter all over the place, right?
That's it, yeah. And while that's happening, what Mishka is going on there, she's doing a half a block of the butter. She's getting that melted up, and she's going to then add that to a full cup of the hot sauce. And
The hot sauce.
Oh, wow.
the hot sauce that we spoke about earlier,
Can I ask, how hot is your oven that we're putting?
220.
220, okay, so
Yeah.
quite a hot oven.
How's it going on that side, guys?
Yep, we are almost filling this tray up.
Amazing.
How's it going on the sauce there,
My
Mishka?
butter is all melted, so that means I am ready to go on to the next step.
Okay, so next step would be
Next step is 1 cup of this hot sauce that's going into that half a cup of vegan butter.
and talk to me about that garlic.
Ooh,
Man,
this recipe calls for
8
8
cloves.
cloves. This is my kind of recipe.
Vampire Slayer.
Definitely my kind of recipe. Another way to really health hack is to just add more garlic.
Definitely.
You know, get the garlic in, especially when you cook garlic, it really just mutes that intensity quite a lot. And then you're just left with the flavor and the health benefits of it.
Okay, and the recipe we're working with there, it's going straight in raw. We're not sautéing it.
Okay,
Is
wow.
that correct?
Yes, so this is 8 cloves of raw garlic, and obviously the butter is a little bit warm, so I guess that's where,
Just
you know,
gently
even
cooks it.
Sautéing it very
exactly.
gently there, yeah.
Just light.
Yeah.
I've actually put the stove off. I've just heated the pan so that the butter can melt. And you can see the butter's doing really good.
Yes, absolutely.
And then what else is going to be added to this? We have over here 1 teaspoon of soy sauce. That's just for a little bit of that umami flavor to come through.
Right.
There you go. And the
more of
last
these do we
one.
I think
Because this is vegan, we
I
are
think
going to
at
go
least
with
1,
either
2,
maple
3,
syrup or
4, 5.
agave.
At
It's
least
up to
5.
you. And over here we have 1 tablespoon.
Love it.
Okay, so
So your hands are dirty. Do you want me to stick these in the oven?
put it in
Salam?
the oven.
Thank you.
So the oven is 220 degrees.
220 degrees.
How long am I putting these in for, Jay?
10 minutes.
10
220.
minutes. Okay, cool. Let's get them in. All right, those are in.
All right, and voila, smoke and mirrors. We have stuff ready for a knorr stir fry using tofu.
Yes, amazing.
Yum.
And we're actually using a tofu today that's from Food Lovers Market. It's a Cape Town product, and I'm just going to be cutting that into some blocks. We've already prepped some of that here. And Jay, maybe you can tell us a bit more about the use of tofu in vegan cooking, and Mishka, maybe the health benefits afterwards.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, from my point of view with cooking it, stir fry is great. We make an amazing egg sandwich using tofu, and we make a gooey egg yolk to go with that replicates egg yolk.
Delicious.
So it's really a good replacement for like an omelette or eggs, those kind of things.
We have a beautiful product today that's also already got some spices on it, some lovely veggie flavors, which actually corresponds so well with the beautiful veggies that we're going to put in the stir fry here.
Yeah.
So maybe talk us
Amy, you
through.
done with those?
Yes,
done chopping those,
I've got them ready for you.
Okay,
I
awesome.
mean,
So-
I don't know if they square enough perfectly for the OCD levels here, but
It's hip. It's hip.
Okay, so we're going to just fry them up with some of the Be Well canola oil. Again, another health benefit. Also, we mentioned heart health, this one again, because it contains like a balance of that omega-3, omega-6. Again, for brain health. So, you know, this is how you can hack your food.
Which is also very important from a plant-based diet. You know, we get our omegas generally when we carnice and eat meat, we get it from fish, right? Salmon and those kinds of things. But in the plant-based eating world, you've got to look to the grains, flax or seeds, you know, like flaxseed. So yeah, very important for brain health. So let's talk veggies here. We've got some baby corn that I've just cut down the center. We've got some mange tout or snap peas, they're also known as. We've got some seasonal peppers.
and can you use
julienne
any kind of
carrots.
peppers? I mean, I love red peppers specifically.
You know,
but
some people struggle with peppers,
Okay.
and it's a nightshade. So you like aubergines, also nightshade. It's on the poisonous side for some people. So,
Okay.
you know, if you ever had that issue where you've eaten something like that and you had a stomach ache, maybe you need to just look into that a little bit further. Okay. We've got some red onions. From a pungency point of view, red onions are a little bit on the lower scale than the brown, okay? They're a little bit more flavorsome from my point of view. So yeah, and they just look great.
I love the
great.
purple
I mean,
color. It's
And the
gorgeous.
flavonoids. So as a little
Flavonoids.
add in there, the game change of season, get the colorful veg. So obviously you're going to go with
Yes.
red, purple, you know.
I love how we're really eating the rainbow here today, everyone. It's looking so
Definitely.
beautiful and fantastic, all the different
Definitely.
nutrients.
Okay, so we're eating the rainbow. We've got those things. So Mishka's just basically browning the tofu. We next up, so we had 1 kilogram of tofu here. This is going to feed a family.
Definitely.
And do it in 2 batches because you don't actually want to overcrowd your tofu. You want to get a nice even coating. Just going to grab a spatula for a moment.
All right, so while Mishka's browning the tofu, I'm going to just start whipping up the sauce that we're going to add to this. Now, we're going to use one of Knorr's ready-to-go packet soups. It's the curry vegetable packet soup. So we've got that here. We're going to add, what have we got here? We've got soy sauce. We've got half a cup of soy sauce, if I remember correctly. That's it.
So you can use a low sodium soy sauce or obviously tamari as well as another option.
Yeah, if you're
as
going
a-
the gluten-free
yes.
route, tamari's the way to go. Cool, so what we've got is half a cup of our soy sauce for
Yes.
tamari, as we were mentioning.
So tamari's a great gluten-free option, right, Mishka?
That
so if you're
is
following
definitely
a gluten-free
true.
diet.
Exactly.
And how are those beautiful pieces of tofu looking over there? Nice and golden?
You can see, you know, tofu is quite soft. It has this very interesting kind of pudding-like texture. And that's why we definitely want to get that nice, crunchy texture on the outside. You can see with this one. That is exactly the color you want.
So we used the herb one there. Also, a little bit of a hack. What you can do is press your tofu between 2 books in some paper towel to get more of the water out.
Yeah, that's a great
And then
tip.
and do that for an hour or 2 before. A lot of the times in a plant-based diet, you've got to think ahead, right? It's not just like get home and throw something in the oven. So think ahead. But that's how food and cooking should be. Like you're making, when you make food, it should be done with love and passion. So thinking ahead is a good thing.
Definitely.
Also, then putting it in some corn flour
Yes.
will get it crispy.
Oh, right. That's a great tip.
So I've added in some agave syrup here. You can also use some maple syrup. Obviously, we want to avoid the honey again.
Yes.
And then we've got some ginger.
Lovely. Just a bit of freshly
Sorry, garlic.
grated
This is
garlic,
garlic, grated and then pressed, minced basically.
Yes.
And then we've also got a bit of ginger. That's also been, we obviously cut off the skins
Yes.
and mince that.
So what
putting all
I
that
do with
together.
ginger is when I take the skins off, I actually save them to make a tea afterwards. And just let it soak in some
That's a
hot
great
water.
That
idea.
is very clever. I love the no waste food.
And then the last
Definitely.
element we're adding here, now this is totally up to you. Personally, I would probably avoid adding this much sugar,
Okay.
but it's going to help caramelize everything that we're about to add in here, so that's why they've added the sugar in this recipe.
Okay.
And Knorr's come up with a great recipe here that's easy to follow, and I'm sure it's going to be on the link here for people to follow along with. So I'm just adding the sugar. We're using brown sugar here, but you know, using coconut blossom, if you're on that health conscious
Such a good product.
trip, you know, make sure that you get some coconut sugar. It's a little bit more expensive, but low GI index, all
yes.
of those good things. Okay, so that's our delicious sauce that's going to be added to these veggies in a little bit.
Lovely.
All right, so that's all
And that
mixed up.
tofu is looking incredible. The beautiful golden bits you can see on the
Exactly.
square.
So while Mishka's busy there, I'm just going to get another pan going where we're going to toast some sesame seeds and
Okay.
peanuts.
Food like this is very inclusive. So, you know, more people are like, it's always a bit hard to be the one person out and not being included in these beautiful meals with a family. So festive, this is a great recipe. Everyone can just
Very inclusive
dive
festive
in.
season recipe, absolutely.
Exactly.
And again, we've got such beautiful, colourful veggies over here. And
on the
we
left-
are, how are we doing over there?
Over
with
here,
the-
I'm just toasting the sesame seeds and I'm toasting the peanuts. Now, both of these are allergens. Okay, so from a plant-based diet, if you have an allergy to these things, perhaps you definitely want to avoid it.
Yeah.
But just be aware that those are allergens, as too is soy. I think that is something we do need to mention.
Okay.
So,
Yes, so it's often always mentioned on your products, just to be aware of. You can always read the packaging, just to make sure you know
Definitely
exactly what you are buying. And then once these are ready, we're going to just add the veggies, simple as that. And you keep the pan really hot. Is that important, that your
A
wok
hot
is
wok
nice and hot?
is so important. That's why your oil with wok is so important as well. You don't want to use an oil that's going to denature quickly, because then you
Yes.
actually add to the things that are against health benefits.
And your canola oil that you're using here, the smoking point's a little bit higher, right?
Yes.
So it's really good to use for those like
Definitely.
beautiful dishes like your stir fries.
Definitely. You know, even the product like this, where it has, it has a high oleic acid, which
Yes,
means
yes.
higher smoking point.
Okay.
So I'd always go for an oil that has that high smoking point, and especially if you want that olive oil,
Yes,
then
a
why
little
not?
bit of the extra flavour there, for sure.
Exactly.
Right, Mish, are we
Okay,
ready?
these are definitely ready. I'm going to add this one, and then let's go.
Okay.
And with stir frying, it's quite a quick process once you kind of get going. So you want
Yes.
all your veggies chopped
Yes.
before the time, ready to pop in the wok.
Now,
Definitely.
we'll go with the onions first because they cook a little bit longer.
So what I do is I also like to make a little bit of a wall so that, you know, you get everyone a fair treatment.
I love that. Everyone gets their time in the center of the pan.
Exactly. Everyone gets their time.
Yeah,
Incredible.
Look
Coming
at
together
that.
with all the beautiful colors.
delicious.
The smells are insane right now.
So how long would you typically cook this before adding your mange tout, your baby corn, your carrots? Because carrots also take a little bit longer, but they're quite thin. The carrots are very
These are quite thin, and
julienne,
you know what? For your veg, you actually don't want to overcook
No.
if you want a healthy pot of food. And that's the awesome thing about wokking your food, because it means that the prep. I mean, you know, you could find this in your fridge that you've done on a Sunday when you do have an hour to prep everything, and then when you're coming home from work, it's just
quickly put it together.
put it
yeah.
together. This can go into a wrap even.
Absolutely.
You
Yeah.
know,
Delicious
this
in
can
a
go in a
wrap.
wrap. This could go in a poke bowl.
And you're chopping up some coriander.
coriander.
Now.
Okay,
Yeah.
so let me
Smell
just
the
give
fresh
this.
herbs divine.
Can I add these?
Go for it. All
You're
right,
going to
Nice.
add the beautiful sauce.
I'm going to add the sauce to this.
Woo! Look at that.
And listen to it start to sizzle
Yeah,
down.
sizzle.
I love co-creation, so
smells
I
are
will pass
wonderful.
this to you. You get your essence in that as well.
I'll go for those two
Oh,
wooden
you're going
spoons
to
if
go
you
for the
don't
2
mind.
wooden spoons? I'm happy with that.
Okay, oh man. Okay, cool. So we've had these baking at 220 for 35 minutes basically. So what I would suggest at this point, we're going to add some of the hot sauce to it, and then we'll put it back in the oven, let it go a little bit longer. So we're going to keep it
Guilty
quite healthy
pleasure.
here because we have done a lot of frying there.
Yes.
So I'm just going to add some of the hot sauce over this, just to add some color.
It does look beautiful, that hot sauce. And we use the mild, so it's
Yeah.
not too hot.
And also the garlicky, you know, the
We love
fresh
the garlic,
garlic.
yes.
That's also going to just cook. And that's going to basically caramelize on top here when we put this back into the oven.
And the stir fry seems to be completely done. I'm definitely going to be serving this up.
Okay, so just a little note on the buffalo Brussels sprouts. We've put them back in the oven for about 5 minutes grill. That's going to char grill it a little bit and going to bring a bit of color and texture to it, the char grilledness. But just watch the oven at this point. You don't want to overcook it and burn
Totally.
it. So next up, while Mishka's finishing that, she's doing a great plating job here. I mean, as you can see, that's going to feed at least a family of 6. And then we'll just top it off with our peanuts, toasted peanuts, and our toasted sesames. And then we'll also finish it off with some coriander. There we
Last
go.
is the
Coriander.
coriander. I will salt bay it. I'm gonna herb that, babes.
All right, so
Ooh, yes.
that's gone for
Those
about
look
5 minutes.
amazing.
Char grilled that. And the smells, obviously we can smell that garlic,
beautiful.
the hot sauce. So
Very
let's plate that
crispy.
up. We could add a ranch dressing to this just to cut down the heat factor.
Yeah.
So neutralize that. So we could use a Be Well mayonnaise. Which one would you suggest?
Definitely the gourmet, my vibe. It's
Adding some lemon juice
Nice
to
and
that.
creamy.
Adding some barbecue sauce, some mustard, make a ranch style dressing.
Oh, that's lovely. Just a bit of that on top, just a few tablespoons.
extra spicy pizzazz. And Jay, you
Bit of
can,
fresh
you
coriander.
can get some herbs.
Could you even do something like little spring onions on top of this?
Yeah,
or-
absolutely. And
Chives.
you know, if you really want to go
Chives.
fancy, you can add some edible flowers.
Very beautiful.
If you
Even a
just wanna-
sesame sprinkle. I think a black and white sesame sprinkle will look amazing.
So lots of options of how to plate up these beautiful Brussels sprouts.
So I think, Mishka, are you going to try this with me?
I am the
Amy's
wimp.
going to
So
abstain.
I got the little mixy one.
And my
here.
mouth is still burning from that hot sauce. I don't know.
Let's get a small dude. Ooh, I like that it's got a crunchy texture and a mushy kind of
Yeah.
soft texture.
And
Eh?
you know, it's got layers as well. So it's kind of like skin, like chicken, you know, it's got those layers too. Yeah, we can talk a lot of junk about that, but I'm going to
Go straight for
man,
that.
I'm sorry, that was just not cool, you know. I just put my whole hand in there.
That one's not for sharing. Nice and crunchy. I can hear the crunching. Delicious. Yes.
Wow.
With a bit of the mayo as well. Beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah,
Texturally, a pleasurable experience.
Oh, divine.
I'm sorry, I'm just trying to get all the saliva.
It's all the salivating happening. But thank you so
Great
much.
flavor. You are so welcome.
Mishka and Jay, amazing. Yogi's in the kitchen, foodies in the kitchen.
Yogis,
So-
foodies, health food, vegan food.
Thank you.